to 2026, she served as the 8th U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security, a member of the Republican Party. She served at 2019 and 2025 as the 33rd governor of South Dakota and represented South Dakota's at-large congressional district in the U.S. Representatives from 2000. So that all of these guys in the C tier are kind of like the old politician standard boilerplate. Like, let's get back to norms, but I don't think that's going to happen. But if that did happen, I think that's where they are. Not charismatic. He's not holding water. He's not holding the media. And I think that's a big thing in 2028. And nowadays, we kind of want the president of the United States to actually be kind of like a content creator as well. It's a very weird thing. I'm going to put him in the C. It's like, we need someone that's fresh and new, but will actually do the things that we wanted Trump to do after all. And Tucker Carlson can kind of do that. So that's what I think. That's what I think. Who's my personal favorite? None of them, Cheapadoodle. I don't think. Ladies and gentlemen, let's explore the 2028 Republican field by doing a tier list. Okay, let's check this out. All right, what do we got here? All right, the presidential candidates for the Republican Party. And so in this case, in the tier list here, we are strictly going to be doing a tier list on electability, who I think is actually going to become president of the United States if it was going to be a Republican, right? We're not going to talk about best, like the idea of like who would be the best candidate, because I don't think that any of them would be good candidates, to be honest with you, because the Republican Party should not be elected in 2028. They've caused a irreparable harm that's been done to the United States and the Constitution, but alas, they still exist, apparently. And they are going to be having a presidential candidate being pushed. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that so much. I'm so glad to be awake for one of your streams. Oh, rep the millennial grays. Nice, dude. All right, I appreciate you. Alas, I don't think that really I want a Republican president, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm just saying maybe who could actually win. Okay, I think that's the big question. So here we go. Let's do it. We're going to be going through the order, alphabetical by first name. All right, we're going to be going through seeing who the Republicans will actually pick as their presidential candidate in 2028. First up, Brian Kemp. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Brian Kemp. Brian Porter Kemp is an American politician serving as the 83rd governor of Georgia since 2019. A member of the Republican Party, served Kemp as the state's 27th Secretary of State from 2010 to 2018, and as a member of the Georgia State Senate from 2003 to 2012. He is the first Republican since Reconstruction to be elected governor of Georgia who was not a former Democrat. I mean, it's really interesting. I mean, Georgia, Brian Kemp has famously sparred with Donald Trump. Whether or not Donald Trump remains a political figure in the Republican Party in the future, I do think that he will try to be, but I actually think that he's going to be fanning out. His flame is going to be flickering, kind of like a George W. Bush in 2008. I think that people are going to start running away from him. They're actually going to want to see some type of leadership that isn't just so MAGA centric. I think that he is a governor, but I don't think that he is really electable in the sense of he's not charismatic. He's not holding water. He's not holding the media. And I think that that's a big thing in 2028. And nowadays, we kind of want the president of the United States to actually be kind of like a content creator as well. It's a very weird thing. I'm going to put him in the C list. All right. Brian Donalds. Brian Loyal Donalds is an American politician serving as the U.S. Representatives of Florida 19th Congressional District since 2021. His congressional district includes much of Southwest Florida. Previously served in the Florida House of Representatives from 2016 to 2020. He's a member of the Republican Party. Byron Donalds, I don't... let's just say looks a lot different than all these other candidates. I don't know what it is, guys. There must be there's something else about him that stands out from all these other candidates. I can't put my finger on it. I don't think that the Republican Party is going to elect a black man. I don't think that's going to happen. So it's gonna be an F tier for me. All right, Christie. Christopher James Christie is an American politician and lawyer who served as the 55th governor of New Jersey from 2010 to 2018. A member of the Republican Party, he was the United States Attorney and for the District of New Jersey from 2002 to 2008, and Morris County Commissioner from 1995 to 1997. He was a candidate for the Republican nomination in 2016 and 2024. I think Chris Christie is an interesting case. I think that he is kind of like that, contentious, high energy candidate that is willing to spar with other Republicans. He's made a big name for himself in the debates that in order to kind of do that before, but he never caught on. Right. Because he's not charismatic. He doesn't actually hold media that well. I don't feel like he is he's going to be that. I don't think that people are going to latch onto him. I think he doesn't media well, although he does like to say it like it is. And I think that people do like that. So I think that he's better than Brian Kemp in that. So I'm going to put Chris Christie in B tier. Chris Sununu. Chris Sununu is an American politician and engineer who served as the 82nd governor of New Hampshire from 2017 to 2025. Brian Sununu, who? I am so sorry. I have never even heard of this guy, and I am such a politics nerd. The fact that I haven't even heard of them does not. I mean, I do think that there is someone that could be, in the running that comes out of the fray, kind of like how Trump did in 2016. But I don't see that as happening. Donald Trump is not constitutionally allowed to run for president, so he's not going to be running. Donald Trump Jr., often nicknamed John Jr., is an American businessman and political activist. He is the eldest child of Donald Trump, the 45th and 47th president of the United States, allegedly. So this is an interesting case. Like, I do think that Don Jr. will be a political figure in the future. I don't think that he is going to be one right after Trump, though, because I think that people, like I said, people are going to fizzle out on the Trump name for a little bit, but it's going to be kind of like the Bush dynasty. Unfortunately, he's going to be around, and they're going to basically rewrite the Trump years as this golden era in American politics, and he'll be able to capture that, but it's too soon. Kind of like how George W. Bush's image has gotten kind of different in the last 20 years since he's been president. In the same way, I think Donald Trump's will. But Don Jr. is too close. I don't think that he has any chance. But I do think that maybe MAGA latches onto him. Maybe MAGA, maybe he is kind of able to wrestle with that a little bit. And you could have a scenario where Trump Sr. pours himself into it. So I think that it's not an F tier, but I think he's a solid D tier. Doug Burgum. Douglas James Burgum is an American businessman and politician who served as the 55th United States Secretary of Interior since 2025 under Trump, a member of the Republican Party. He's previously served as the 33rd governor of North Dakota from 2016 to 2024. I'm pretty sure that he ran along with Nikki Haley. I remember him in debates, and it was, I don't think that he did well at all. I don't think that he really latched on at all, and he wasn't really magnanimous. I don't think that he's Vocal, I'm here for Burgomania. That's good. Yeah, I'm gonna say, I don't know, D or F. I do think that he's better than Donald Jr. If they go for like more of a stately person, I think that that could happen, but I think that he's a D tier. Okay, Elise Stefanik. Elise Marie Stefanik is an American politician who served as the U.S. representative for New York's 21st congressional district since 2015. From 2021 to 2025, she served as the chair of the House Republican Conference. Elise Stefanik, she was really big into a lot of different things. Tucker is on the lineup. He's on the second row right here. I think that I think she's on the who list. I mean, she's not big. I don't see her going, but I have heard about her name enough to not be who. I have heard of her, but I don't know that she's good. So F is like, I've heard of them, but I don't think that they have any hopes. So I think that she's a solid F tier. Francis Suarez. Francis Xavier Suarez, an American lawyer and politician who served as the 43rd mayor of Miami from 2017 to 2025, a member of the Republican Party. He previously served as the member of the Miami City Commission from 2009 to 2012. He is the son of former mayor Javier Suarez. This is solid who. I didn't not even know this guy existed. And I'm sorry, like, I don't understand. If you're a mayor, why do you think that you could run straight to president? I don't know. But I think that executive experience matters. And, even in the fact that Trump didn't have any political experience, at least he had some type of, executive experience with his companies, let's say. So I've never heard of Francis Suarez. Sorry, bud. Glenn Youngkin. Glenn Allen Youngkin is an American politician and businessman who served as the 74th governor of Virginia from 2022 to 2026. A member of the Republican Party, spent 25 years at the Carlyle Group, a private equity firm, where he became a CEO in 2018. I think that I think the ideas of these kind of like Carlyle Group, the infrastructure kind of thing, I you know, I do feel like it is, where did he go? Uh, okay, yeah, I didn't even, oh my gosh. I do think that there's going to be a backlash against that. I do think that we are in a populist era, and just being kind of like, I think that background in the private equity firm is going to be something that people don't want to latch onto, and they kind of avoid in the future. So I think that that's actually a bad point for him. And I think that I would probably put it in, an F tier. Glenn, I think Stefanik is a little bit better than that. Greg Abbott. Gregory Wayne Abbott is an American politician, attorney, and jurist who served since 2015 as the 48th governor of Texas, member of the Republican Party. He served as from 2002 to 2015 as the 50th attorney general in Texas, and from 1996 to 2001 as a justice of the Texas Supreme Court. As of 2025, Abbott is the longest serving incumbent governor in the United States. I think that Abbott being disabled in a wheelchair matters more in the Republican Party than the Democratic Party. It's like a machismo alpha thing. I do think that it hurts him. Being the Texas governor, I think that Texas is going to have I am very hopeful. I will be honest. I'm very hopeful of kind of like a moment where Tallarico can win, and now Texas will kind of be seen as kind of like this purplish state, and he's going to be blamed for that. So I do think that he is. I think that he's in the strong D tier, probably a C tier. I could see the case being made that he is. I mean, he's the governor of the largest economy, the largest Republican economy in the country, right? In terms of size of the economy. So I do think that he's above D tier here, below Christie, I think, because he's less charismatic. I think C is kind of like the boilerplate politician that doesn't have charisma, is lacking a lot of things. So I can see him and Brian Kemp kind of being in the same tier. I like that. Okay, JD Vance. James David Vance is a American politician, author, and venture capitalist serving as the 50th vice president of the United States, a member of the Republican Party. He represented the state of Ohio in the United States Senate from 2023 to 2025. So Vance is an interesting case. I do see Vance as kind of like shepherding in more so than Don Jr., kind of like the era of MAGA. I mean, JD Vance has been doing white Christian nationalism for longer than any of these other guys. He's very committed to this ethno state idea, um, and I do think, but he's awkward. He's not charismatic. His face, like, I don't know how to say, I don't know how to say this, like, very plainly. His face is just too round, and he wears eyeliner. I don't know how to say it other than that. I'm sorry, but he looks very baby face. I don't think that he's not a guy's guy. Nobody is going to JD Vance for any problems that they have in their life. You know what I mean? He doesn't have any friends. He's just kind of like this incel loser dude. And I don't see him kind of as kind of, I don't see him as a winning, I don't. Winning the primary, especially after Trump, and I do think that Trump's name is going to be a bad thing. I think that being in the shadow of Trump is hurting him in the fact that he doesn't have any type of movement, or he doesn't have anything of his own, right? He doesn't have any vice presidential, like what is he doing? He's doing a book right now. He's doing a book tour. So, like, imagine writing a book and doing a book tour as the vice president of the United States, as opposed, I mean, he's not passing in any legislation like Kamala was doing, right? Harris was busy in DC passing bills, being the president of the Senate. JD Vance doesn't have any role to play. He's work from home. So, I think that in the same light, I think that JD Vance could have it will have a presence in American politics in the future. I don't think that it's now, and I think that people are going to wane on him in the same way that Donald Jr. will be. So yeah, Joe Lombardo. Joseph Michael Lombardo is an American politician and former law enforcement officer serving since 2023 as the 31st governor of Nevada. From 2015 to 2023, he was the 17th sheriff of Clark County, capping a 34-year career in law enforcement. Lombardo is a member of the Republican Party, and that is a big who. I do not know who that is. I mean, maybe in like some way that the Republican Party does an autopsy and is like, hey, maybe we need to have more of a diverse background or something, but I don't see that happening. I don't think because Nevada is more purplish than people think. I don't see that happening though. I'm sorry. John Edward James is an American politician, businessman, and former military officer serving as the U.S. representative for the Michigan's 10th Congressional District since 2023, a member of the Republican Party. He was the party's nominee for U.S. Senate in 2018 and 2020. Who? I've never heard of this guy. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. Joshua David Hawley is an American politician and attorney serving as the senior United States Senator from Missouri, a seat he has held since 2019, a member of the Republican Party. Hawley served as the 42nd Attorney General of Missouri from 2017 and 2019, before defeating two-term incumbent Democratic Senator Claire McCaskill in the 2018 election. He was reelected in 2024. Hawley really tries to make himself a name for himself in these Senate hearings. He really tries to steal the floor. He tries to make the clips. He tries to kind of steal the spotlight. And he understands that this game is won on these media clips. And I think that he sees that. So I think that he's better than most because of that. And I think that I would put him in the B tier along with Chris Christie because of that. He's clip farming. You know what I mean? In these hearings, he understands the goal. You try to make a fool out of this person, and you try to make the clip, and he does a lot of media. He's involved everywhere. I think that way he kind of understands the media environment, and that is the big thing. He is the runner from Jan 6. He is famously, yeah, exactly. Okay, Katie Britt. Katie Elizabeth Boyd Britt is an American politician and attorney serving since 2023 as the junior U.S. Senator from Alabama, a member of the Republican Party. Britt is the first woman to be elected in the U.S. Senate from Alabama and the youngest Republican woman to be elected to the Senate. She was president and CEO of the Business Council of Alabama from 2019 and 2021 and served as the chief of staff for previous incumbent Richard Shelby from 2016 to 2018. Britt is expected to become Alabama's senior senator when Tommy Tuberville leaves office in January 2027. Who? I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know who this person is. The junior senator. I didn't even know that she was a junior senator. That's crazy that there are senators that I genuinely do not understand. I don't get it. Michelle does not like Christie. Yeah, I can understand that, Michelle. Yeah, I apologize. Kim Reynolds. Kimberly K. Reynolds is an American politician serving since 2017 as the 43rd governor of Iowa, a member of the Republican Party. She is the first female governor of Iowa in its history. Who? I am so sorry, Kim. I do not know. I do think that I think that it's I don't know if there's a penchant for Republicans to elect a woman. Like I just don't. And I just don't see that happening, to be honest with you. So that's just what it is. You haven't heard of Britt? I think she did a really bad response to one of the Biden's sodas. Oh, is she the one that did the thing from the kitchen or whatever? She like literally did like I'm going to respond to the kitchen from the kitchen thing. Kristi Noem. Kristi Lynn Arnold Noem is the American politician serving as the United States Special Envoy for the Shield of Americas since 2026. From 2025 to 2026, she served as the 8th U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security, a member of the Republican Party. She served at 2019 and 2025 as the 33rd governor of South Dakota and represented South Dakota's at-large congressional district in the U.S. Representatives from 2011 to 2019. During her tenure at the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, her immigration policies generated controversies, particularly following the actions of ICE. She is a hard F tier. Like I think that she was tried and kind of like as in the guise of like a Sarah Palin, trying her out for VP, probably, something like that. I would probably have to say, yeah, it's just a strong F tier. Like I just don't see her going anywhere. I don't think that she has any chance of being elected in 2028, like at all. So there's just no way. I'm sorry. Liz Cheney. Elizabeth Lynn Cheney is an American attorney and former politician who was the U.S. representative for Wyoming's at-large congressional district from 2017 to 2023 and served as the chair of the House Republican Conference from 2019 to 2021. A member of the Republican Party, she is known for her opposition to Donald Trump. And for that reason, I mean, she literally campaigned with Kamala Harris, based, by the way, genuinely. I think that people like actually don't give enough credit for that. I would get strong F tier there. I think that as soon as you're playing for the other side, I think that you could make the case if Republicans are down so bad on MAGA that they have a full reversal, and like they wanted someone that would be whoa, oh my gosh. Dude, thank you so much. Objective Ethics, $20 super chat. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you. I mean, so Helen, Liz Cheney on Republicans that I would vote for, she's high on the list. If I had to vote for her, if it was like her or Donald Trump, I would absolutely vote for her over Donald Trump. Absolutely. do I think that she is electable? That's what we're doing, right? We are thinking about who is actually going to win the Republican nomination in 2028. So in that case, she is anti-electability. But for who I would want to see as like as a patriot and like actually as a good possible Republican, I think that that it'd be different. Because honestly, I like Chris Christie is one of those like he tells it like it is. He's actually willing to push back on the party. Liz Cheney the same way. I think that they would both be way higher on there. Okay, Marco Rubio. Marco Antonio Rubio is an American politician, attorney, and diplomat serving as the 72nd U.S. Secretary of State since 2025. He is also the acting national security advisor. A member of the Republican Party, Rubio represented Florida in the United States Senate from 2011 to 2025. Marco Rubio is honestly, it is wild to me how many spots that he fills in the government right now, and yet really doesn't take the limelight from or take the light from Trump. I think that he's playing the role. He's getting the executive experience in without like ruffling any feathers, which is exactly what I think you need to do. And that's why Kristi Noem got kicked out and he hasn't, because Kristi Noem got a bunch of negative press and made Trump look bad. Marco Rubio hasn't done that, right? Marco Rubio is basically running Venezuela right now. He is the Secretary of State, going through who is he actually, what kind of diplomacy is this guy doing? He literally all throughout the world we are hated. So the idea that he is actually doing a good job is laughable. But I do think because of his executive experience from the administration, I do think that he's higher than most. And he has that ability to kind of be on MAGA's good side, but then he can differentiate himself. So I think he's playing the political game well. Yeah, I think that he's high B or A. I think this is Marco Rubio the first A tier. I think that maybe he could be. I think that he might be. Yeah, I do think. Yeah, I think he is an A tier. I think because he's straddling the line of being MAGA without he's supporting MAGA without being MAGA, right? He's helping Trump, but also has his own things that he's running at the same time. Like he could legitimately say, hey, it was me that was running Venezuela. It was me doing the diplomacy of all these type of things, making these things happen. You know, I think that he could make the case for that, unlike other things. Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene, also known as MTG, is an American politician, businesswoman, and conspiracy theorist who served as the U.S. representative for Georgia's 14th congressional district from 2021 until her resignation in 2026. A former member of the Republican Party, she was elected to Congress in 2020 following the retirement of Republican incumbent Tom Graves and was reelected in 2022 and 2024. Greene is widely considered to be a populist and far-right politician, but completely unelectable and right with Liz Cheney. I mean, she is completely, she's kind of seeding this moment of like anti-MAGA, and she's trying to catapult herself into the like, I'm gonna be thrown into the future by I'm going to be a part of the future by being anti-MAGA now, so I can kind of like, be in that position. I don't think that the Republican Party, I think they're going to be sick of Trump, but I think that people that get too vocally anti-Trump right now are going to be seen as anti-Republican. They're specifically anti-Trump, right? But I think that they're going to be seen as traitors, and they're not going to be seen as party players. And Republicans don't want that. Any type of like inner party, you want the president to be able to unite your coalitions. You know what I mean? You don't want to have someone that's going to stir that pot. And I think that Marjorie Taylor like stirs that pot a little bit too much. So there you go. Matt, okay, let's see. Let's just do a quick test because the rundown. Marco Rubio's our runner. I think that makes sense. Christie. I would say Christie has less of a chance than Hawley. I don't think that he's going to do that well. I'd actually put Christie down here with Brian Kemp, the other governors, where it's like standard boilerplate governors. Christie isn't doing media. He's not doing anything that's like special right now. He's doing, yeah, I don't think he's not like standing out like that. Burham Jr., Vance. Okay, I like these. I like the F tier. Okay, perfect. Matt Gaetz. Matthew Lewis Gaetz II is an American politician, lawyer, and political commentator who served as a U.S. representative for Florida's 1st Congressional District from 2017 until his resignation in 2024. His district include a bunch of counties. He's a member of the Republican Party and self-described libertarian populist. Gaetz is widely considered as a proponent of far-right politics as well as a staunch ally of Trump. In 2023, Gaetz filed a motion to vacate that led to the removal of Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House of Representatives. Gaetz is really interesting in the fact that I thought that he flared. He really is a flash in the pan really early, and I'm surprised that he was. He should be in prison. He's like he's um and I don't understand why Gaetz quit, basically. Do you know what I mean? Like why it is very weird that he I guess it was because of the allegations, wasn't it? Wasn't he being like literally uh like investigated for all the like awful things that he was doing to little girls? Um so I don't know if that hurts or helps him in the Republican Party. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. But in terms of electability, I mean, I don't see him doing that well. I don't think that he is going to be that. I would put him not as an F tier, maybe. I'd say low D tier, low D tier. Okay. Michael Schwamway Lee is an American politician and lawyer serving as the senior senator from Utah, a seat he has held since 2011, a member of the Republican Party. Lee has been Utah's senior senator since 2019 and the dean of Utah's congressional delegation since 2021. I don't think he's just so bland and boilerplate. I don't think this guy is I don't think that he has a chance. Like I don't he's too just milk toast, you know what I mean? I don't think that he has any chance. I would put him at the top of D here. Mike Pence. Mike Richard Pence is an American politician and lawyer who served as the 48th Vice President of the United States from 2017 to 2021 under Donald Trump. A member of the Republican Party, he previously served as the 50th governor of Indiana from 2013 to 2017 and as a member of the U.S. Representatives from Indiana from 2001 to 2013. I think Pence, so it really matters here. I think Pence in any other moment, he's not charismatic. He's not the media guy. He doesn't like hold a room. You know, MAGA does hate him, but if they do go back on MAGA and they do think to have like kind of like an anti-MAGA moment, I could see him having that sway and kind of like as the old guy option, kind of like as the grandpa, kind of like taking him over, going back. But I don't see the Republicans want that. Marco Rubio and Josh Hawley still have that populist rage, you know, that they can channel. Mike Pence, I don't think so. But I think Mike Pence is the best of the C tiers right now. He's like the standard boilerplate politician that I don't see him actually. He's not charismatic. He doesn't hold the room, but I could see him having a chance if MAGA gets too over the ledge. So I think he's a strong C tier. Mike Richard Pompeo is an American politician, attorney, diplomat, and former U.S. Army officer who served in the first administration of Donald Trump as the director of the CIA from 2017 to 2018 and as the 70th United States Secretary of State from 2018 to 2021. A member of the Republican Party, he previously represented Kansas's 4th District in the U.S. Representatives from 2011 to 2017. I don't I don't see this happening, guys. Mike Pompeo. I don't. He's just saying the thing. I don't see him. I don't. That doesn't make any sense to me. Nikki Haley. Nimarata Nikki Haley is a American politician and diplomat who served as the 116th governor of South Carolina from 2011 to 2017, as the 29th U.S. ambassador to the UN from 2017 to 2018. A Republican, Haley is the first Indian American to serve as a presidential candidate. That's wild. In 2018, she was the first. We didn't have any other Indian Americans that served in any presidential candidate. That is that's very sad. She came in at second in the 2024 Republican presidential primary after Trump. I mean, but it was a dead primary. You know what I mean? I don't think that she has any chance. Why is Mike Pence 2 tiers above Cheney? Because Mike Pence used to be the vice president of the United States. I think that he channels that Christian conservative anti-abortion kind of like zeitgeist that I think that could basically create like a 20 to 30% mass that could steamroll and snowball to actually make a voting population. Because that's the thing. Like it doesn't take you to get 50% plus one in order for you to get the Republican nomination. It only, like as Trump showed us, it only takes us about 25-30%. And what is that 25 and 30% coalition? So that all of these guys in the C tier are kind of like the old politician standard boilerplate. Like, let's get back to norms, but I don't think that's going to happen. But if that did happen, I think that's where they are. So Nikki Haley, though, is an interesting case. I think that she is. I think that she did better than expected in the primary in 2024. But I don't see her as I think it's the same thing. I would say, man, was she C tier? I think for sure, politician, capable of fighting back, anti-Trump if you need it, but also served in the Trump administration. I would put her next to Mike Pence. Yeah. Okay. Ronald Dion DeSantis is an American politician, attorney, and former naval officer serving as the 46th governor of Florida since 2019, a member of the Republican Party. He served from 2013 to 2018 as the U.S. representative from Florida's 6th congressional district. DeSantis was a candidate for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, withdrawing his candidacy. He got stopped by Nikki Haley. I think he is solidly in the D tier. I think that people kind of saw him as the Trump without the negatives of Trump back in 2024. But nobody likes him. He's not that charismatic. He's kind of boring. He's weird. I do think, let's see here. Does he, but I'll have to put, is JD Vance or Ron DeSantis? They're both so awkward. They're just so awkward and weird. I don't know. I would say Ron DeSantis is has a worse chance of winning than JD Vance. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Sarah Elizabeth Huckabee Sanders is an American politician serving as the 47th governor of Arkansas since 2023. Sanders is the daughter of Ambassador Mike Huckabee, and who served from 96 to 2007 as Arkansas's 44th governor, a member of the Republican Party. She was the 31st White House press secretary, serving under Trump from 2017 to 2019. Sanders was the third woman to be in the White House press secretary. She also served as the senior advisor to the Trump 2016 presidential campaign. Sanders became the Republican nominee in 2022 Arkansas gubernatorial election and won, defeating Democratic nominee Chris Jones. She is running for re-election in 2026. I see. It's a strong F tier. I just don't see them like electing women. I think that she's probably the best of those tier though. Ted Cruz, Rafael Edward Cruz, is an American politician and attorney serving as the junior U.S. Senator from Texas since 2013. A member of the Republican Party, Cruz was the Solicitor General of Texas from 2003 to 2008. Since 2025, Cruz has chaired the Senate Commerce Committee. Ted Cruz is such an interesting political being. I think that because he's an incumbent, he's strong, but I think that he's so weird. He's so awkward. He has all these weird he's just very weird. His movements, he's not likable. He's not charismatic. I have to put him I would say I don't think that the Republican Party goes with Ted Cruz. It just doesn't. I don't see the path forward for him. Um, I could see him kind of channeling that fighter kind of image. Maybe is he in the C tier? I think he has a way better chance than Mike Pompeo. So maybe he is in the C tier then. Okay, Tim Scott. Timothy Eugene Scott is an American business politician serving as the senior U.S. Senator from South Carolina, a seat he has held since 2013. A member of the Republican Party, is the first African-American senator in the southern United States to be directly elected, the longest-serving African-American senator in U.S. history, and the first African-American to serve in both the House and the Senate, and the first African-American senator to chair a full committee. God, there's something about his picture that's just so much different than all these other guys. What is the difference? I don't see it happening, guys. I'm sorry. I don't see it happening. I don't see them electing a black man. I don't think so. There's not I don't know. I just don't see it. I think that it's an F tier. I don't see it. Thomas Bryant Cotton is an American politician and former Army officer serving since 2015 as the junior U.S. Senator from Arkansas. From 2013 to 2015, he served as the U.S. representing Arkansas's 4th Congressional District. He is a member of the Republican Party. What? I don't think that he has any chance. Tom Cotton. Tucker Carlson. Tucker Swanson McNear Carlson. That is his real name. Tucker Swanson McNear Carlson is an American conservative political commentator, journalist, and host of the Tucker Carlson Show. Since 2023, he previously hosted the nightly political talk show Tucker Carlson Tonight on Fox News from 2016 and 23. He the highest rated cable news show at the time for its termination, and is an influential voice in the right-wing media. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the 2028 Republican nominee. I think that he is by far the winner, the chance to win. He's quirky. He is very awkward and weird. He doesn't do the bow tie thing anymore. But he has that and he has the media chops. He has the ability to kind of go populist or go kind of boilerplate Republican too. And the big thing is that the Republicans are looking to break down institutions, right? They are looking down to burn it all down. And the whole guise of what's going to happen after MAGA fails is that, they didn't let us. I think the story after 2028 is going to be wow, we MAGA will fail to enact their agenda, right? And I think that it's going to be a Trump was too corrupt, right? Kind of thing. I think that it's going to be a Trump. It did the things that we it could go a couple ways, right? It could be we need an actual Trump, like an actual populist, and we see that right now, right? Where Republicans are like, oh, Trump is doing the things that we didn't want him to do, right? So we want an even stronger version of Trump, right? I could also see it being as a like we need to go. I don't think that the Republican Party will like massively change after 2028. Like I think that they're still going to like tighten down on this white ethno state idea that they have basically. Um it's just how they're going to go about doing it. Like is Tucker Carlson really going to be like I really am going to deport all of them and Trump wasn't serious. But Tucker Carlson is positioning himself to be kind of like anti-MAGA, but like I'm more MAGA than MAGA kind of thing. But because he's not a politician and he's not voting on anything, Tucker Carlson kind of has the ability to be everywhere and anyone at once, while also crafting a media image that portrays that really well. So that's why I think, as opposed to all these politicians, he has this ability to kind of be everywhere at once, which kind of makes him extremely dangerous in terms of, you know, winning. So that's the problem. That is the problem. That's why I think that he's in S tier. Um, he can basically claim all the establishment credentials because he is a media personality without any of the drawbacks of actually being an elected politician. He basically gets to run as an outsider, and all these other people can't, right? They're all tied to Trump in some way. They've all been elected. They've all been elected in the cabinet. They've been a senator in the party. They've been the vice president. They've been elected, and Trump's been around for so long that I think you're going to see some people that are like, oh, we need someone different. We need some new ideas. And Tucker Carlson will kind of be that person where it's like, we need someone that's fresh and new, but will actually do the things that we wanted Trump to do after all. And Tucker Carlson can kind of do that. So that's what I think. That's what I think. Who's my personal favorite? None of them, Cheapadoodle. I don't think any of these people should be president of the United States, and I think that they would all be awful presidents of the United States. This is strictly just who can I think will be elected or chosen as the Republican 2028 nominee. This is nothing to do who I think will be the best Republican president. I think that all of these people would be awful presidents. So that I don't think that any of them would be good. Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Janapathy Ramaswamy is an American entrepreneur and politician. He founded the Roivant Sciences, a biotechnological pharmaceutical company, in 2014 and was its chief executive officer until 2021. Ramaswamy entered national politics as the youngest presidential candidate in 2024 Republican primaries, but withdrew his bid and endorsed Donald Trump. He is currently the Republican nominee for governor in Ohio in the 2026 gubernatorial election and has been endorsed by Trump and the Ohio Republican Party. I think like he has a problem with being not a Christian, and you see this a lot when when Vivek goes to conferences and stuff like that and he talks about his values, people heckle him as in like, what do you know about our values? We have Christian values and you're not a Christian. And basically he's like, he claims to be a Christian values Hindu or something. I'm like, it's like very weird. I'm like, how does that even happen? But that's what he says. So I would, but I think I could see, like I said, I can see him being the anti-Trump businessman, right? Like I'm not tied to the Trump's cabinet. I'm a businessman in a good way. Like not I'm not one of those capital guys, that, and I'm a businessman, not a financier kind of thing. So I can kind of see him. I think he's much better than the C tier. So I think that, yeah, him and Josh Hawley, I think that's good. Will Hurd. Will Hurd is a American politician and former CIA clandestine officer who served as the U.S. representative for Texas's 23rd congressional district from 2015 to 2021. Will Hurd, who? I don't know who that is, and I apologize. Sorry, Will. Sorry, Bill. Whatever, dude. Sorry, it is. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The 2028 Republican candidate tier list. I think that Tucker Carlson has the best shot at winning by far. Marco Rubio has the next best shot. I think Josh Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy could both run as like outsiders inside of the Republican Party and do well. I think if this kind of like this narrative fails, then you have kind of like the boilerplate politicians that could come in and kind of sweep. I don't think that the D's, I don't see them having a good shot, but I could see a path possibly. F, I don't see any chance that they are going to be presidential candidates in 2028. But anyway, the D's and the F's, I think they could in the future. A lot of these C's, like it is their time. Like I don't see. Oh, thank you, Michelle, for the super chat. I don't see like a lot of the C tiers. Like I could see Nikki Haley because she's younger, like a little bit later, being better. But I don't see Ted Cruz ever becoming president. To be honest with you, or Christie. But it could be possible to see it that road. But I don't think that it's going to happen. Let's see right now. Let's see the Republican 2008 nominee odds on Polymarket. Let's see how we go. Let's see how it is, guys. What did we get? Wow. That is really shocking to me. JD Vance is way in ahead, the number one. So JD Vance is that's really surprising to me. Let's see if this is thank you. So here we go. That's really surprising to me. JD Vance way ahead at 43%. Wow. You know what? Honestly, it's a good buy at not JD Vance. So if you ever are doing these, you always want to, it's always better. The odds are always better to pick the not, to buy not. So I would say not JD Vance. Marco Rubio, I think that's probably a good buy. Tucker Carlson at 2. I think I might put $20 behind that, to be honest with you. I am shocked that he's only at 2%. That really does shock me. Voting no on JD Vance is free money. Exactly, Sheepadoodle. Yeah. So you buy like no when they're at the high, and then you vote yes. I think that's Tucker Carlson. I'm very shocked that it's so low. I think that's a great the amount of money that you could possibly win there is very good. So wow, JD Vance being so high, that's really shocking to me. Marco Rubio, I agree. JD Vance though, wow, that is wild to me. I don't know if Trump actually runs again. He wins the Republican Party. The only way, Buckle, I mean, the only way that he actually runs is the idea is that he is just completely, he is completely capable of taking the election. Okay, let's talk about Trump. Okay, Trump in 2028 only happens in a world where the Constitution is no longer null and void. It's like basically he can do whatever he wants. He's already striking out portions of the Constitution already. So like, why wouldn't he strike out that portion of the Constitution that allows him to run again? You know, he did it in order to run because of the insurrection clause in the Constitution. There already was a constitutional amendment to stop him from running, and he got to run again. So, you know, I could see him running in the same guise. And basically that court case said, and Trump's lawyers argued that even if he is guilty of an insurrection, being elected president is kind of like that part kind of being annulled, and it doesn't really matter to the American people, so therefore it shouldn't matter to the courts. He's kind of getting he's getting off on that charge. So that's why I think that, but in that moment, like if he suspends our constitution, then it's like who knows? You know what I mean? He's going to try? I think that he could. I think that I think that it's very odd to me that people aren't taking it as seriously, and there aren't more Republicans saying no. That's the more sane. That's the more poignant point, I think. It's not Trump joking that he's going to run for a third term, right? That's not everyone knows that he's going to do that, right? The part that's scary is that there aren't the Republicans that are lining up to say like, no, that's ridiculous, we're not going to do that, stop this nonsense. The fact that there wasn't 24 Republicans that came out today after that video released last night of him joking about running for a third term, that's the concerning point, right? That's the actual concerning point to me. So do I think that there's a chance of it happening? Yes, I think there's a non-zero chance that Trump does suspend elections, ushers in martial law, tries to do that kind of nonsense, because he already tried to take over an election, right, that he didn't win. He already did try. It's not like something that I'm concocting, that I am being a conspiracy about, right? He literally already did try to sway and change the 2020 election results. So I could see him doing that again, absolutely. So it is scary. It definitely is scary. So anyway, that's it, guys. That is my Republican tier list. We'll do another one next year. Okay. Well, as we go a little bit closer, we'll do a 2027 Republican tier list, and we'll see how this goes out. Thanks for watching. If you watched this far, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.